everyone. Thank you for taking the time to be here with us tonight. We are going to discuss Mr. Chance. Mr. Chance is a 60-year-old retired teacher who is referred to the Speech and Language Clinic for an evaluation. Mr. Chance has been previously diagnosed with early onset myasthenia gravis, type 1 diabetes, and rheumatoid arthritis. Medications taken include prednisone, mycophenolate, and azathioprine. Family reports indicate that Mr. Chance experiences frequent fatigue and significant difficulties with speaking and swallowing. Mrs. Chance also reported that Mr. Chance has fallen 8 times in the last 6 months.
During the language exam, Mr. Chance demonstrated moderately impaired repetition. He had an average conversation length of 3 to 4 words. He also had an increase in anxiety and frustration while he was speaking, and he rarely initiated conversation, but he did not present with anomia. So that's important to know. And his receptive language skills were within normal limits. And for the cognitive exam, he demonstrated decreased judgment and also decreased planning, and he had reduced cognitive flexibility and working memory as well.
Mr. Chance presents with flaccid dysarthria and is suspected of having oral and pharyngeal stage dysphasias and a cognitive communication disorder. The flaccid dysarthria is characterized by hypernasality, low muscle tone, imprecise articulation, and slow, breathy, effortful speech. Oral dysphagia is suspected based on observations of oral weakness, including Mr. Chance's inability to hold his jaw shut. Pharyngeal dysphagia is suspected based on Mr. Chance's self-report of frequent coughing after mealtime. The suspected cognitive communication disorder presents symptoms including a decline in cognitive abilities, such as planning, judgment, working memory, and cognitive flexibility.
Based on the diagnosis and hypotheses that we made, there were a couple of assessments that we are recommending for Mr. Chance. First, we're recommending that he be administered the T, or the Test of Everyday Attention. We want to get more information regarding his attention abilities just because this was not included in the report that we were given. And additionally, we also think he should be administered the Ross Information Processing Assessments, or the RIPA-2. We think this is a good one to administer to Mr. Chance because it has a couple subtests that are important. We need to look at immediate memory and auditory processing and retention. We don't have information regarding Mr. Chance's short-term memory or his auditory processing skills, so these are areas that we need to assess and further address.
So to further assess for the suspected oral and pharyngeal stage dysphasias, we recommend a clinical bedside eval to be administered to gain a swallowing history, as well as an opportunity to further observe how the muscular weakness affects his facial and oral structures in relation to swallowing. Furthermore, we also recommend a video fluoroscopic swallowing exam, or VFSE, to gain a comprehensive view about Mr. Chance's swallowing difficulties during both the oral and the pharyngeal stages of swallowing. It is also recommended that Mr. Chance be referred to an occupational therapist to target muscular improvements related to fine and gross motor movements. Thank you guys all for coming today.
Thank you.
All right, school.
What?
Holy
crap.
Can we watch this?
No, not.
Okay, there were so many times. I forgot.